I love you.
I love you.
Hello everyone, welcome to the First Love channel, talking about the real first love stories from sharing, so let's get to the stories. A very close friend inspired me to go abroad to Thailand. As soon as the tourist season was over where I was working, I left with a one-way ticket to Thailand. After a month of scuba diving on an island, the time came for me to renew my visa. It just so happened that in the process of doing this, I accidentally got onto the wrong van. There in the front row of seats sat a girl, which even now I feel is the most astonishing beauty I have ever happened across. She was Japanese, and I speak a bit, so naturally I had to find a way to talk to her. After sitting in silence for a while, I managed just that. Turns out she is from Texas and is traveling around with her friend trying to see a bit of the world before going to med school. She was headed to Kuala Lumpur, and I was headed to Penang. I got into Penang the next morning around 2 a.m., and in 1 hour got right back on another bus to go to Kuala Lumpur. I managed to track her down after a night walking the streets, attempting to steal Wi-Fi from anywhere that might have an open signal. As the money changers were not open until 6 a.m., after getting a room in the hostel that they were staying in, I spent the next week do anything I could with her. Just being near her made my heart skip. I had never experienced this before. She didn't seem to be interested in me, but that didn't matter to me. One night, we decided to buy alcohol and join a bunch of other travelers atop the hostel's roof, having a party. The entire night, she wouldn't pay any attention to me and in fact talked with one guy in particular the whole night. Out of pure frustration and jealousy, I stormed off. As the night came to an end, I found out that it was just the two of them left on the roof. I decided that if I wasn't getting anywhere with her, why should this guy? I became the most epic cock block I could think of. Went upstairs because, I couldn't sleep and the breeze up here is nice. After effectively ruining that moment, I went back downstairs and sat in the common room. Moments later, she came to find me, angry that I hadn't doted upon her that evening. After a few back and forths, I took her by the hand and pulled her back to the roof. There, with the Petronas Towers in the backdrop, I told her how I felt. In a complete surprise, she actually felt the same way and was waiting for me to do something about it. As she stood in the doorway to the stairs, I held her close and kissed her for the first time. I didn't sleep that night. In attempts to keep this story short, I will just say that we ended up traveling together all up and down Southeast Asia for the better part of a year. I had never felt anything close to what I felt for this woman. I realized just a little while in that I was in love with her. Atop the tallest volcano in Indonesia, as we made our way down in misery, as the trip was horrific, she told me she loved me. In that moment on the steep slopes of the volcano, I nearly passed out. I cannot express in words what I felt. The few seconds that passed before I was able to reply, time stood still, and yet my mind raced with 1,000 thoughts. I had been afraid of those words for so long, and now I found them falling freely from my lips. After the long trip abroad with the woman of my dreams, we came home. She to Texas, and I to Colorado. She would call every day, and on most days, more. She was going to med school, and had said that she would have no time for a relationship. I tried to understand, and I guess it did make logical sense.
Love you.
I too felt like I needed to take some time to become successful, to prove to her that I could be. After she had called me crying enough times, I decided that I couldn't bear it anymore. I was going to pack everything I had, put it in a truck, and head to Texas. During all this, she had decided that she needed to take a break from med school because she now wasn't sure if it was what she wanted to do with the rest of her life. So we got an apartment in Texas together and moved in. We both started looking for jobs and life seemed good. Not so much. I don't have a degree and am younger than she is. I guess this became blatantly apparent when we were looking for jobs. It was too much for her to take. She couldn't be with someone that didn't have a degree, and in her eyes, well, more importantly her parents' eyes, could never be successful. We lived together for 5 days before she broke up with me and crushed my heart. This was the first and last time I have ever contemplated ending everything. I have never loved a person so deeply. I was wrecked, and I don't think to this day that I'm over her. The amount of experiences that we share and the thousands of pictures we have together are some of my most treasured and most painful I can think of. We tried to stay in contact with each other at her behest, but alas, I found it too painful. At the sight of every email I received, my stomach would jump. I would obsess over every word. It only made me realize how much I still love her. It's been almost a half year since we last emailed. She asked me if I would call her since my number had changed. I've dialed her number no less than 10 times since that email, unable to push send. I have dated others, but it's never been the same connection. That's it for the stories. If you want to share your stories, please comment down below. Thank you so much for watching this video.